Hey everyone, Pugs here, and today I'm going to be reading The Grass is Greener. The grass is always greener, that's what it is, yes. Okay, it is 25,458 words with 10 chapters. It is also by an orphan account. So, yes, it is, the tags be prepared for this is body swap, enemies to friends, quirk swap, and original characters. Yes.
Fun.
Now introduce yourself.
Oh, hello. My name's Jazz. I don't know what to say.
They're mainly here to listen and
Just to listen.
chime in every once in a while, maybe, possibly.
Just enjoying the story.
Just to ask questions or such. Remind me to text me later and remind me to switch that.
Okay.
Remember how I said I was getting sick last episode? Well, I'm sick. I'm sick right now. It is not fun. I had to work today, which really sucked. Before you got there, I almost passed out. Because I got, really, really dizzy, and, I was shaking really bad. And so I had to, sit down. And then I was still shaking when Alex got there. It was really bad. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
You know nothing about these characters.
Not a thing.
You know nothing. I want you to look up Bakugo and Izuku. No, wait. I need to look it up because then you'll see things you don't want to see.
What kinds of things?
People ship them a lot because childhood friends and Katsuki bullied Izuku. And then they almost died together a million different times. And then, spoiler alert, skip over the next few seconds if you've been under a rock for the last, year. Katsuki dies. And Izuku sees the body and freaks out, and then Katsuki is brought back to life, but us manga readers had to wait a year. And the people watching the show only had to wait a week, and I am still very much not okay with that. How dare they not have to wait as long as us and not know what's going to happen for a year. Anyway.
Okay. Good to know.
I love how the first thing is the ship on... Okay, that is Bakugo.
Yeah.
The pretty one. The canonically pretty one that I've been telling you about.
Yes, I know that one.
And that one is Izuku. He's on all those, depression images.
Yeah. Yeah. I know those.
And then, I need Aizawa and All Might. Aizawa.
I think I know what these characters look like.
Yeah, because I know you know what Aizawa is the one I have the lotions for.
Yes.
So that is Small Might. That is All Might, but in his small form. And that is Aizawa. That is the one that if given the
should I be concerned about what you're about to say? Should I be worried?
Yes.
Oh.
You should always be worried about me. You know this.
So,
we're just gonna look up Class 1A. No, not Labor Day. Ew. Go away. Okay. Because I know at least most of them are gonna be mentioned. I think. I haven't actually read this one all the way. I think I've gotten halfway through chapter 1 and then decided not to read anymore. Not because it wasn't good, but because it was 5 in the morning and I had work because this was when I worked morning shift.
Yeah.
And I had to be up for work. No. I had to be up for work at 4, so I fell asleep at midnight.
Fun.
Before they changed it to 4 a.m. Okay.
Is this the frog one?
Yes, that's the frog one. That's Baby Girl. And then... No, keep going down. That's my baby boy. That's my baby boy. That is Coda. He is baby boy. That is baby boy.
He's a little funky.
Oh, I need to put it on Do Not Disturb so I don't have
that. It kind of looks like that one.
Shoji! We love Shoji!
No! The little dinosaur.
We love Shoji. Yes.
You know which one I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. And don't know the name of it though. But yeah, okay. But no, canonically, Bakugo is one of the prettiest in the class. And so is Shoto. Shoto Todoroki. Yes. That one! He's so pretty! It's really sad though.
Very angular.
I love how that's the first thing you notice.
Well, he is.
Yeah? You're not wrong. Sarah is the Hispanic one that everyone says is Hispanic. Like, it's, nationwide not nationwide. It's a headcanon everyone's accepted. But Hirokoshi never confirmed. Horikoshi? I call him Hirokoshi. I don't know why. Don't ask me why.
Also, this guy's hair reminds me of
Pomeranians.
Real life.
Oh my god! I've seen.
Look at that shit. I love how I just.
That is definitely going into the bloopers, if nothing else.
No, we keep this in the full episode.
Just gonna keep this whole thing in the full episode. Oh my god.
Quirk, bro.
Yeah. Tokuyami. Adorable.
Who's this child?
Ew. That's the pervert.
Ew.
He's a pervert. Look up Shinso Hitoshi. You'll also need to know who that one is.
I know the name.
The anime, they are a lot alike, and Aizawa ends up training Shinso to become a hero because Shinso is in Gen Ed, and then very much yes, his quirk is brainwashing people. Oh. It's so cool.
Okay, anything else I should know?
All Might.
He looks very malnourished.
He doesn't have a stomach or half alone.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
He got into a fight with the big bad evil guy named All for One. The quirk he has is called One for All. He gave it to Izuku. Izuku gains all seven of the parts of the quirk. It's very long, you should watch the anime.
I think I watched like the first episode, and then I never got a chance to finish.
You should watch it.
Is it on Crunchyroll?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we stop yapping. We do what we're here to do.
Yes. Okay.
God. We've been here for 14 minutes?
Almost 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it on?
Yes, it is on again. Okay. Okay.
I'll be here. Listening intently.
This is The Grass is Always Greener by Orphan Account. Izuku, Midoriya, and Katsuki Bakugo can never seem to get along, especially after their fight on school grounds. In fact, Bakugo wants to cut off Midoriya completely, which only deepens Midoriya's frustration with him. It seems like the two of them will never be able to become a real team. That is, until a new villain with the bizarre quirk attacks them. Nextly, no, I can't. With the villain on the loose, can Midoriya and Bakugo put aside their differences and learn to work together to beat him and switch back? And what else will they learn about each other? Chapter 1. Let's talk. Breaking news! Here in Mustafa, there have been several reports of citizens falling comatose after a villain attack. According to these reports, the villain would normally strike through back alleys at home invasions. However, we recently received word that he made his first public appearance in the streets of Tokyo around 11 p.m. this Tuesday. Two witnesses have sent us their photos of the villain, but they're difficult to make out due to their low quality. Luckily, they've told us that the villain has long black hair and a tall, slightly bulky stature. If you spot someone that fits this description, please. The man turned his television off. Now that the brightness from the small screen had gone dark in the already dim room, the only light sources surrounding him were glowing orbs in various vials and clear containers, each with their own distinct color.
This collection of his was his pride and joy.
The orbs have been accumulated here and there from the past 2 weeks. The news report practically made his day, as he spent the rest of it earlier wondering where to strike next. He was getting famous. Feeling accomplished, he reached for one of the beakers nearby on his table. The beautiful sky blue of the glow inside excited him already. It was the soul of a random nobody trapped in this container thanks to his quirk. Popping off the cork containing the light inside, he hovered his slender hand over the beaker and pulled it close to him, beckoning the orb. Slowly, the blue light followed his hand out of the container and into his palm. He promptly led it right into his mouth and swallowed. In an instant, he became almost as bright as the shining containers around him. He could feel his muscles expand a little more, the same sky blue he consumed coursing through his veins. He knew with each soul he had in his grasp, he would only be getting stronger, faster, more powerful. Who knew how godlike he had to be if he possessed as many as possible? He could probably defeat all of the heroes in existence with a flick of a wrist if he wanted to. The man grinned. He would be ready to take on the world in no time. Izuku Midoriya breathed a sigh of relief. Yesterday was the final day of his house arrest in the UA High School dorm building. Throughout the past 3 days, Izuku, along with Katsuki Bakugo, aka Kachan, had been ordered by their teacher, Mr. Aizawa, to clean the dorms day and night. Some of the tasks that needed to be done daily included dusting off surfaces, clearing out clutter, and even taking out his classmates' excessive garbage. While it was hard work, it wasn't the worst punishment to have thrust onto him. After all, it was only for 3 days. Izuku spent the rest of his time either having idle conversation with his classmates as he cleaned or staying in his room, usually exercising or writing notes. But now that his house arrest was over, he could finally leave the dorms to go to class and hang out with his friends. Izuku then reflected on the reason he and Kachan were under house arrest in the first place, their fight at Ground Beta. Kachan had revealed he knew about Izuku's quirk One for All and how it was inherited from All Might. He had looked up to the former number one hero with Izuku since they were both children, so knowing that the kid he had called Worthless Deku for years was working with All Might, of all people, had sent him into a rage. Kachan had said he even felt guilty about All Might using up the last of his quirk at Kamino. The fight between them had been explosive, each of them using their best attacks movements to beat the other. But in the end, Kachan was the victor. Izuku still wanted to keep his promise to beat Kachan someday, but now was clearly not the time, considering he was still pretty exhausted in the aftermath. At this point, he wanted to take All Might up on his word and try to work together with Kachan so they could be the best heroes they could possibly be, but that wasn't going to be easy. The house arrest made it pretty clear. While the two of them were able to work on their cleaning separately, there were still times where they had to divide up the tasks amongst themselves or work in closer proximity to each other. Kachan had been barking orders at Izuku whenever they saw each other. "Now you take out the trash, lazy ass. Hey, don't make me clean up your mistakes. It's your turn to do the dishes. Hurry up." And while it wasn't unusual by any means, Izuku had at least some hope that Kachan would be a little nicer to him. It definitely didn't seem that way. However, as Kachan had passed by him yesterday and aggressively bumped his shoulder against him. But Izuku figured he was still willing to try. Izuku had been looking at his reflection in the bathroom mirror for some time. After slowly taking off his two face bandages to check if his evidence of the fight was healed, he made his way downstairs to the common area of the dorm to see what everyone was up to. It was surprisingly quiet, so he assumed that his classmates were probably in their rooms or out somewhere. However, the only other sign of life was in the living room was Kachan, who was sitting at one of the couches, hunched over the nearby table. Cautiously, Izuku made his way towards the couch and took a peek at what Kachan was doing. He was writing on a piece of paper, but he had paused as he seemed stuck on the next words. "What you doing?" Izuku asked curiously. Kachan avoided eye contact with him as his focus was strictly on the paper in front of him. What does it look like I'm doing? I'm writing that damn apology for Aizawa, he said, with frustration clear in his voice. Oh, yeah. Izuku recalled. Kachan's house arrest period was extended to 4 days instead of the 3, so he was still stuck in the dorms. An awkward silence filled the air. Izuku knew that Kachan was likely more than annoyed at his presence, but if there was ever a time to attempt to calm talk with him, it would be right now. Izuku sat down on the other side of the couch. Hey, Kachan, how are we? After that fight, I mean. Kachan glared at him. If you're expecting some kind of bond or friendship after that, you're dead wrong. I still don't like you, Deku. Well, you don't have to be friends or anything, but I was thinking we could try working together as a team at least. Why would I want to end up with someone who barely fights back? Listen, it's like what All Might said. We can learn about each other's goals and strengths in order to become better heroes. Kachan stood up from the couch and raised his voice. You don't get it, do you? I want nothing to do with you. Zuko stood up confused as well. Why? He pleaded. I thought we got it all out of our systems. Kachan's yelling grew more explosive. You think I can ever get over everything with one battle? It's bad enough I have to keep this dumb secret, but having to deal with your bullshit with All Might? How he chose worthless, pathetic Deku over me? Huh? You think I can get over that? I'll keep your secret, but that's as far as we go. Stay out of my way, Deku, you hear me? Izuku furrowed his brows. He had to admit he was getting increasingly fed up with Kachan's anger at him, even after everything they had just went through. All of their emotions had erupted before, and Kachan spilled his ruminating thoughts to him like he was his therapist. How could he still be so stubborn? Izuku was just trying to help. All right, he said. He responded with frustration. Have it your way. Good. Kachan snatched his paper and pen from the coffee table. Then get out of my way. Fine. Izuku watched as Kachan stormed upstairs. He let out an irritated sigh. If their fight in ground beta wasn't enough to make them come to terms with each other, then what would be enough? Would that time ever come, or would they just be butting heads forever? Izuku knew, at least, that Kachan needed some distance, but his demands of cutting him out completely were ridiculous. Stupid Kachan, he thought to himself. A smaller voice snuck up next to him. Hey Deku. Izuku whirled around and saw Ochako Uraraka standing by the slightly open front doors, a nervous look on her face. Tsuyu Asui and Momo Yaoya were right behind her, also giving off a sense of awkwardness. Oh, hey guys, he said sheepishly. They must have heard the end of the argument, at least, he figured. But Kachan was being louder than necessary when it came to talking about All Might and keeping his secrets. It didn't help that some of his other classmates were coming downstairs after the ruckus as well. How much did you hear? Not much. We just heard a lot of muffled shouting from Bakugo, Uraraka admitted. Luckily, the other classmates seemed to have heard the same, since none of them really showed signs that they'd been closely eavesdropping or anything. Was it more than of the usual? Uraraka asked. Izuku dejectedly looked down at his face. Yeah. There was an awkward pause before Uraraka gave him a weak smile. Well, if it makes you feel any better, we're all going patrolling today. Toru Hagakure finally cut the tension in the air with her sudden enthusiasm. Izuku perked up. What? We are? Yeah, man, Ijiro Kirishima said. We gotta get some more real-world practice. We gotta get some more real-world practice in before the teachers start overloading us with homework again. How'd you get the teacher's permission? Izuku wondered. Denki Kaminari leaned into him and said in a hushed voice, Actually, we didn't. But don't tell Ida that. Sure enough, there was an imposing, "What are you two whispering about?" from Tenya Ida. Plus, it'll give us all a good chance to hang out around the city, Yorozu added. Izuku smiled brightly. Yeah, sure, that sounds great. Awesome, Kirishima said before suddenly bolting up the stairs with Kaminari. He yelled at the top of his lungs, Hey Bakugo! We're going patrolling, wanna come? Oh, yeah. Okay, pause. Pause for a second, because, so in almost every fan fiction you'll read, everywhere, it is, Hey Bakubro. Hey
What?
Bakubro. Kirishima calling Izuku Midobro, and Bakugo Bakubro. That's like been his thing. It has never once happened in the anime. It is not in the anime or in the show. It's not in the manga or the show. It is. Oh, now it's gone. The face is gone. That's sad. Voldemort's not looking at us anymore. I'm actually happy Voldemort's not looking at us anymore. Okay, I just had to pause to tell you that because that has become like a thing that I swear to God it was like chapter 93 that they said it, but I went and looked and it's not there and it's not in those episodes. So I was, Okay. If everyone else in the class was patrolling today, they would want to include Kachan despite this being his last day of house arrest. Izuku had just hoped they would work in different areas, so there was no more fighting he had to get involved in. Luckily for Izuku, the start of the class's patrolling around downtown Mustafu was working out well. Once the class, all dressed in their hero costumes, arrived at the city, they split up into 5 teams of 4 and began searching around different parts of the area. Izuku's group consisted of Uraraka Ida, and Shoto Todoroki. These 3 had definitely been with him through some of his more difficult times, so he had complete faith in them. Kachan had been paired with Kirishima, Kaminari, and Hantasero, who all seemed to have a bond with Kachan as well, much to the hothead's chagrin. Although, since Kachan seemed like he didn't hate being around them, Izuku noted that they could keep him busy enough not to cause too many problems. Yorozu, Asui, Mina Ashido, and Kyokujiro were the next group, followed by Hagakure, Fumikagito, Goyami, Mezo Shoji, and Mashiro Ojiro. Finally, there were Yugo Aoyama, Minoru Mineta, Koji Koda, and Rikikito Sato. Overall, the group seemed like pretty well-rounded combinations to Izuku. After the groups went their separate ways came pretty tame tasks for the heroes in training to do, like saving cats from trees, helping lost children find their families, and assisting citizens with their more tedious work. No villain sighting yet. If the rest of the day kept up like this, the patrol trip would be, as a whole, would be a nice, chill success for the class. Around mid-afternoon, Izuku, Uraraka, Ida, and Todoroki unanimously agreed to take a break and grab a bite to eat together. After all, it would be a great opportunity to bond. The team made their way down a few blocks to find the nearest fast food restaurant, chatting all the while about their accomplishments from patrolling earlier. However, as they got closer to their destination, Izuku spotted Kachan's group heading out of the same restaurant, burgers in each of their hands. While he was pleasantly surprised at the sight of more friends to bond with, he wasn't looking forward to seeing Kachan again after their argument. Despite Izuku's initial hesitation, he saw Uraraka, Ida, and Todoroki waving at the group, so he happily did the same. The Kachan group turned to look at them, with Kirishima, Kaminari, and Sero looking joyful at the sound of more classmates to chat with. Fancy meeting you here, Kaminari said with a ketchup-stained smile. Yes, we were just about to go in there for something to eat. Oh, hey, what a coincidence, Sero pointed out. Do you guys want to eat with us? For a second, Izuku phased out of their classmates' interactions and glanced in Kachan's direction. He met his eyes for a brief moment, seeing Kachan stare daggers at him before looking away with a sour expression. There we go. That's better. Izuku nervously looked away as well. His friends didn't seem to keep in mind the tension between him and Kachan, as they enthusiastically planned a lunch break together. Izuku had a feeling it would be more than awkward, but he was determined to make the best of it. He smiled at the rest of Kachan's group. That sounds fun. Suddenly, the peaceful day was interrupted by the shrill sound of a man screaming. They can't hear that. They are gonna think we're crazy. I interrupted myself. Oh my god, I am so close to the end. Suddenly, the peaceful day was interrupted by the shrill sound of a man screaming. Both groups immediately stopped and focused their attention on it, alert and ready to face whatever was causing the scream. It sounded like it came from nearby, albeit a couple of blocks away from the fast food joint. Let's go, Ida instructed, charging towards the sound with Izuku and his classmates following him, their burgers dropped or thrown away. Once they had reached the source, they came across a peculiar sight. The screaming man was being yanked by his collar by someone else, a villain, with nearby citizens either running away, standing frozen or confusion, or recording with their phones. Other screams filled the air, along with several shouts from observers. Who is this guy? Somebody help him! The man suddenly began to glow a bright white in the villain's grasp. He visibly grew weaker as the light emanating from Ow. My throat hurts from the choking. He visibly grew weaker as the light emanating from him gathered in the villain's hand, almost as if he was sucking the life out of him. Was he? Then, once the light was gathered in the villain's palms, he dropped the unconscious man to the concrete and seemingly manipulated the light into one of the many small containers around his belt, topping it off with a sly grin. Izuku and his friends' faces were painted with shock at what they had just seen, and before they knew it, their idyllic patrolling day had taken a darker turn. Chapter 1 is done. 42 minutes. God. Honestly, not as long as I thought it would be. Do you want to keep recording, or?
Yeah, I have time.
Okay.
Get a drink so you're not dying all the time.
Yeah.
You have a lot to take out of that. There's all of our yapping.
Oh, yeah.
In between.
Oh, trust me, this whole thing is only gonna be like half an hour long when I'm done. You should have seen how long Squish Squash was before I edited it.
Dang. That was fairly short.
Well, Squish Squash, the first chapter was an hour long, and the second was a half hour. When I first recorded, it was an hour and 48 minutes, and then an hour and 20 minutes.
God damn.
And then Oracle Week, doing that took me 50 minutes to record. And then it was like 25 minutes going up. Fun fact, if your hair ever randomly stands up while you're outside during a thunderstorm, you need to crouch down and cover your face with your hands. There it is. And make sure you're not touching anything metal. And if you can, grab a hold of something rubber. Yes. Fun fact for if you didn't know that, that's going in the bloopers.
You still recording?
Oh yeah, it's still recording.
I thought you stopped.
No,
Okay.
I don't stop. Don't stop. Won't
Nope.
stop.
No song breaks. We need to get this done.
Okay. I'm so tempted to make you read the next chapter, but...
No. I can't read out loud with that shit.
And you think I can?
You're better than me.
You never know if you don't try. You're gonna end up when we do the podcast.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to read something out loud.
I know.
So you could do the first. Oh shit! My phone's at 5%.
This is why I have a charger. goddammit.
Okay, we're gonna have to go for a bit because my phone needs to charge.
Shut up.
So anytime I hear Kaminari say Kachan of the Bakugos, because that's what he calls Bakugo sometimes, I hear him say it in a Valley Girl accent. So Kachan of the Bakugos, and I'll send you the scene later. It is so funny.
Every time you say Kachan, I think you are right. Kachan.
This is so fucking illegal.
What?
They didn't get anyone's permission to go patrolling. They just decided, fuck it, to go patrolling. This is so fucking illegal. And they're supposed to be on campus. They live in dorms on campus because of all the villain attacks. And they didn't even tell the teachers where they were going.
Guys.
Why did it take me this long to realize how... I smushed your straw. Smushed your straw, Mr. Potter.
Shut up. What are you doing? Shit! Don't die in my car, please.
I started choking. I started choking, so I tried to open the door to my god. Okay. We are recording at a park right now because... Okay. I may just keep this whole thing in, so... Listen, I'm not the only one who is awkward.
Put this in as a blooper.
Yes, this will all go... Okay.
God.
This is already a minute and a half long of us just kind of sitting here.
You didn't stop recording?
No! I'm just thinking...
Dude!
Okay. Okay.
We need to redo this as a good serious
Okay.
one.
Okay. Are you ready?
You introduce yourself first and then I know. Okay.
Oh. Wait until 2 minutes left. Set the schools on fire. No, don't do that. Don't do that. They'll have to go back online.
Yeah, no. Make them
Oh,
stupid.
shit. You just...
Am I wrong?
No!
You saw what 2020 did to the children? They're stupid. Are you laughing or crying right now?
No. Okay.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to say.
You're so fucking awkward.
Sorry.
The man turned off his television. The man turned his television off. Okay, real quick. Yeah. Why in every, like, look at the phones we have nowadays. Look at the cameras we have nowadays. Why is all, like, CCTV or photo images of, like, people doing really shady shit always so poor quality?
I don't. It's dumb.
It's like every single time.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, look at the shit we have.
I know.
It should not look like it comes from a 90s horror movie.
Yeah.
Like, am I wrong?
No, not at all. It's so dumb.
It is. His quirk is Shut up! His quirk is brainwashing. Sorry. His quirk. Yes. Because I wasn't gonna say anything. It says no romantic relationships. Okay.
Okay, we're good. We're done.
That is until a new villain with a bizarre quirk attacks them. Next thing they know, they're stuck in each other's bodies. With the villain on the loose, can Midoriya and Bakugo put aside their differences and learn to...
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What?
Nothing.
No, tell me.
Continue.
Tell me.
Just continue.
No, tell me.
Nothing.
Tell me.
Don't worry about it.
Is it because of you having bodies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I immediately thought of that too.
Okay. We're good.
Not dead puppies.
Continue.